Hey everybody, I'm back. So a little interruption. Hey, we had a little interruption. Everybody, this is Miss Weens. Everybody remembers Miss Weens. How's it going? She's attached to her bug, her nightlight bug right now. So the camera crapped out. I don't know what happened. The battery's fully charged. It just decided to shut itself off. So I just had continued doing the second part, which is coming up right away. When I was editing it on the computer, I noticed that it ended right after the field. And the kind of final thoughts on that, I think, were that even though I felt a bit lost and there's, you know, some room there to figure things out, it was interesting enough. I'd like to maybe give that a shot. I just haven't been able to find issues 1 to 3. Granted, I haven't been looking incredibly hard. And then the one that I was talking about that got cut out, because I didn't notice, was this, God Hates Astronauts. From what I can understand, it was a web series, possibly, a web comic strip, that then got compiled now into a graphic novel. Yeah, hi, say hi. Say hi. You don't know what I'm doing. You can't see anything. Dad, I don't know who you're talking to. There's just the window, there's a tin. I don't know what the hell's going on. Just say hi, trust me. Can you wave? Can you blow kisses? Mwah. She just woke up. So anyway, it sounds like that it's been compiled. And what I had said in the video that didn't get picked up was that if you know about Axe Cop that me and my son had been reading, think of this as the adult version of Axe Cop. Just filled with more curse words, filled with some inappropriate behavior, as Jaden loves to say, as Mr. Tom loves to say, including a man that falls in love with a chicken and then transforms the chicken, or does a little Frankenstein experiment on a woman and the chicken, which then turns into his chicken wife. The Crab Nebula is filled with people that look like crabs. There's some tiger astronauts with names like Admiral Tiger eating a cheeseburger, King Tiger eating a cheeseburger. There's farmers who are against NASA and they're going to blast off into space in sort of like a mass suicide type of way, going out to greater things. It's brilliantly stupid, but underlining the word stupid, because it's incredibly stupid. But that doesn't make it less fun. I think the art is pretty incredible. The story is just completely asinine. The sound effect words are out of control. Crotch crush, frash, prunce, duh, everything has a sound effect on it. Marital strife, grief, everything. It's just completely ridiculous. I think there's a couple of more issues out now. Is it on number 4? 3 or 4? Anyway, I have numbers 1 and 2 and enjoy them. And the thing that drew me to the first one was the brilliant Jeff Darrow doing a variant cover there. And then here's the cover of number 2. Just some stupid fun. So thanks very much for sticking around. I felt like there was something else I wanted to say. As far as the contest videos and things, send me a note if you did do one. I'll try to go through everybody's page and see who did a video and really fully get to them and check them out. I don't mean to be a total dick and think that I've ignored all your videos. I just, like I said, have had zero time. But now I'm back, and let's talk comics. Was there something else that I had missed? I don't think so. So here we go with part 2 of the reviews. On to the other Remender book. This one has been surprisingly enjoyable. I'm really liking it. I believe I'm fully caught up all the way to issue number 4. I think that was the most recent one that came out. I love it. I think it's a great premise. But I think what really sold it for me was in one of the issues, Remender being very candid with the information that he's going through therapy, and that he maybe has a bit of a bleak outlook that he's talking to somebody about. So he wanted to write a completely optimistic character in a world that just wants you to give in, just wants you to give up and just forget it and fuck it. What's the point and what's wrong with you? And looked at as just completely crazy for being so optimistic. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I think it's a really neat take, especially from a writer who I've liked for a long time, who does definitely have a lot of bleak, downer type stories, which I do love as well, but there's something about this book that's really just incredible. The writing is amazing. The art, on the other hand, I do like the art. I don't dislike it, but I find that there's times where I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. And sometimes that's good because the imagination in the art is pretty incredible, with these kind of underwater worlds and just these other worlds and creatures where it has this kind of fluidity to the art that I think really works. But there's sometimes I'm looking at a panel or a bit of a spread and I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. I can't orientate myself, and maybe that's the point. But I find it a bit distracting sometimes. I don't find it that it's, for me it's not accelerating or it's not adding to the story sometimes. Sometimes it really is, but sometimes it's just a bit confusing, and it kind of draws me out of the story. But that doesn't change the fact that it's quickly becoming my favorite thing that Remender has done. It's right up there with Fear Agent for me. Really, really, really good. If you're not reading Low, you definitely should be. Manhattan Projects I'm behind on as well, so I won't mention that one. I have a short box of new books down here, so I'm kind of going through them, and that's why I'm talking about stuff and not showing it. And then another one I tried out because I was attracted to the cover, first of all. And again, an image, Rasputin, and it's pretty great stuff. It's one I'm going to be following. I mean, I know very, very little about Rasputin the Mad Monk. I don't know much of the mythology at all, other than he was supposedly killed 1,000,000 times or however many times and was kind of unkillable. So that's kind of where it starts off with here. He knows that one of the people he's having dinner with are going to poison him. He drinks the wine anyway, and then it's a little bit of a recollection of how he came to be, how he grew up and stuff. Very cool. I love that cover as well too. It was another variant, Stegman variant. So that's going to be an interesting book. I'm going to give that a shot for a little while. No point in talking about Saga. We're all reading Saga. What else do I have in here? One that I saw a ad for when I ordered from one of the small press, maybe it was Drippy Bone. I can't remember who I had ordered from, where they had a little postcard of The Humans. So I saw the book up on the back shelf at one of the places, and I realized why. Once reading it, there's some nudity and swearing and drug use and things like that. So it's about a motorcycle gang called The Humans, and they're all monkeys. And there's another motorcycle gang that's all monkeys as well. So this starts off with kind of an introduction to both motorcycle clubs. The Humans have recently lost one of their fellow riders, and they send him off in a biker style funeral that's filled with drugs and blowjobs and drinking, and then culminates in a fight. Pretty fun book so far. What I also enjoyed was, well, first of all, there's this pin-up on the back by an artist, Benjamin Mara, and they have an ad in the back for some of his books that I'm definitely going to hunt down, because that's just an outrageous looking piece of art there. At the back, their letter column is ape shit, but what it's set up as is kind of the Humans Motorcycle Club official newsletter. So then it has little segments where you're going to be able to send letters. You can actually become part of the fan club. Join the Humans fan club, send $6 and you get a 3-inch patch. There's a little comic strip. There's a creator's note. There's a pinup artist profile, and then just talking about this Benjamin Marra and the books that he's done. And then what they're also going to do is, in the book itself, they have a performance by a band called the Smelly Tongues, and apparently it's a band that really exists. And then with every issue there's going to be a link to a SoundCloud site where you can download 2 tracks every issue, and eventually it'll create a Humans soundtrack that you can then put onto CD and listen to while you're reading the books, which I think is a fantastic idea. So the 2 bands this time are a band called the Zigzags, with a tune called Let's Die, the Humans March, and then Smelly Tongues with a song called Live to Ride. I haven't downloaded the songs yet, but I'm definitely going to give them a shot. Yeah, and I mean, issue 2 is on its way. The art is pretty great. Just a little sample of some stuff. There's a couple of pages, and if you look down on the right, you can see some of the questionable material. So it looks like it's going to be a fun book. So yeah, I'd suggest picking that up if you can find it, to give it a shot. Might be entertaining. Alright, so that's that one. We're almost at the end here. Again, Velvet, I won't say too much about Velvet. It's an incredible book. Actually, we are at the end here. So the last one I wanted to just say a couple of words about was, again, something that surprised me. I didn't think that I would like it as much as I did, and that's Witches #1. They had a pile of them at the comic book shop when I went, with a note saying, you know, I think it was 2 per person, please, limiting it to 2 per person. I do like Scott Snyder. I do like Jock. I wasn't sure what I would feel about it, but it was, again, one of those that I thought I'd give a try, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I think it's going to be terrifying in a way that I'm not expecting, which excites me because I'm not a fan of horror comics. But this one seems very, very cool. And the other thing, again, that sold me on it more was reading Snyder's bit at the back of the book about how him and his best friend, you know, each family had this cabin next door to each other, and they would go exploring in the woods, and they had this whole thing about witch hunting and how this tree played into that whole mythology for them in their minds, and how he revisited it when he was older and decided that this would be a story. So it's nice having that personal touch. It's nice having that unique take on something. It's great, really, really great. The whole bullying thing terrifies me. It just terrifies me, and I don't know if it's because I have kids, but the whole bullying, it just seems like it's not like it used to be. There's a whole much broader public humiliation aspect to bullying nowadays, with the internet and YouTube and videos and passing photos from phone to phone that these kids have and stuff. That it terrifies me, first because I don't fully understand it, so that definitely is a reason, but it also terrifies me because it's when there was bullies in school, when I was younger, when I was a kid, when there was bullies in school, God damn it, things were done a certain way. So I was friends with some of the bullies. I wasn't a bully myself, but I wasn't bullied when I was a kid. I was a little bit in high school as kind of an outsider kid, but by no means do I have any direct understanding of bullying. I just don't. I've seen it happen, and my son had a little bit of a run in, him and a couple of his friends, when he was younger, with a kid who was, they used the term, I don't agree with it, it was just a kid not knowing boundaries. He wasn't a bully. I don't think he was doing anything maliciously, because to me, bullying has an intent behind it. It has a real nasty thought process behind it, which is illustrated in this really, really well. And it's terrifying that it might be that girl as the witch in this one. Scares the hell out of me. I think it's great. A really, really great concept. So I'm definitely going to stick with that one. Let's have another quick peek. Yeah, I mean, that was it. So there's other ones like Sex Criminals I haven't completely caught up on. Undertow, which I'm a little behind on as well. Velvet, which I'm completely caught up on, and it continues to just blow me away. I mean, yeah, it's been said a million fucking times about these guys. It's just, they haven't done anything that's just disappointed me. Fatale might not have been my most favorite thing, but it didn't disappoint me. I still really enjoyed the read. But The Fade Out and Velvet are just absolute top-notch books in my opinion. And it's exciting to be in a time where Image is just putting out so much quality, and not only in one genre. I mean, the two books that are sitting on the top here, God Hates Astronauts and Witches, and then I'm looking at Humans, and then you think of Velvet and Rasputin and Low and Black Science and The Field and The Prophet and etc., etc. It's just, they have such a great time, it seems like, just creating these books, or giving these people an outlet to create these amazing books. It's long-winded. Let's just end it. I missed you guys. I love you guys. Let's talk soon. Okay, bye.